Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego. As you see from the thumbnail, we are working on Ace Chemicals once again. Now, in the last update, there were some fantastic comments, as always. So please keep those comments coming. I do read every single one and try to reply to every single one as well. It was about the lights on the side. Would it be possible so that they were just shining downwards? And that is something that I would love to have it do. So it's more like the source material, and I'll put that image on screen now. Rather than have them just glowing at the side, it would be nice if they did point down a little bit. So that is something I am going to attempt further down the line. Whether or not I get a chance to do it in this update, I'm not sure, but we will certainly be trying that in the future. The Ace Chemical sign is one I get a lot of comments on. People have different ideas about their favourite colour, how I'm going to be doing it, how I'm going to be lighting up. Will I have spotlights pointing up on it, or will there be lights above it, or will I be having a trans tile there that's actually glowing like you see again in that source image? I will for sure be working on the Ace Chemical sign in the future. I'm not 100% sold on this version. As I mentioned in the last update, I am going to be ordering in several different colour tiles and just to experiment with that, and I'm sure we'll come up with one that we're happy with. Anyway, in this update, we're going to be working on this section just here. I want to get this as built up as much as possible. I recently had an order come in from lego.com, which was on my last Tanty video, and I have got some parts in here for some chimney pieces that are going to be going here. Now, the only thing is, I don't think that I have ordered enough of them. I've thought I was only going to need 9. However, I think I might actually need to go higher with the chimneys, as I wasn't expecting this part of the build to be as high as I've gone at the moment. So at least we'll be able to get it started, and then we'll just order some more in should we need to do so. And here we have the image that we're using as our inspiration stroke source material. And I've been looking at this structure here, and it's actually got a sloped roof on it, which I didn't realise previously. And then you've got this part on the top, and then the chimneys coming out of the roof of that. However, there is actually a pipe that comes out of the side here, which I'd imagine is leading to another vat. Now, on my structure at the moment, I've got this part here, and then it pretty much leads on to these 2 sections just here. So I'm going to try and break my build up very slightly. So just dismantle a couple of walls, insert some additional plates in the floor section, just so I can build an area to accommodate this part here. On the raised platform, I have got about between 18 and 24 extra studs that I can use should I wish to do so. So what I will also try and do is add these details on the end here, as opposed to having an area where a chemical truck could have been filled up with the chemicals. I'll do the filling up station of some description at the front somehow, but it'd be nice to get this looking as close to this source material as possible, because I really do like every aspect of this build. So let's bring the structure over to the table, start dismantling it in the middle, and insert the additional plates. And there we have the revised shaped Ace Chemicals, and it looks again like it's got a little bit more character, just stepping back in there. I put the 4x4 plates on the bottom there, as I thought I'd put some round bricks on there, the 4x4 ones. I think that's going to be perfect going up there as another form of that. And over here we've got a 2x6 area, so I'm going to put 3 of the 2x2 round bricks going up, and then I'll connect them to the Technic pins in the wall just there. Now we've got the brickwork all sorted out, just need to find a few more tiles to go around the top, put the other building on here just to see how it's looking, and we can finally make a start on the next part of the build on here. And here we have the start of the roof section on this centre part of the build here, and I've gone for the same technique as what I'm using on my Arkham Asylum on the B wing of the asylum, where you have one row of slopes, then the next row is up by plate, then back to normal, up by a row, up by plate, and then so on. Just gives it that little bit more texture. And I've also added the occasional dark brown to go in with the black as well, again just to give it that more weathered feel. One thing I'm struggling a little bit with at the moment is where to position them. Originally I had it so it was overhanging by one brick. I then had it so it was overhanging by one brick on both the end and this way, but it just looks like it was overhanging a fraction too much. Half a plate I think is a little bit better. The only problem I'd have then is there would be a half plate problem. There'd be a half plate gap at the back, but that would be quite easy to lose. And the other option is just doing it flush like so. But yeah, I never thought I'd have so many options and dilemmas with a roof section. But what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to carry on building the structure up on top of here. And then once I've done so, then I'll decide exactly where I'm going to position the roof. And there's yet more change. I was just about to start building this up, and I thought that I needed to extend this part just here. There are a few details I want to add to this part, and there just wasn't going to be enough room for it. So I thought now was the perfect time to do so. It wasn't a great deal of work involved. All I had to do was remove the brick at the very top there and the ones at the back. Just disconnect those, add a few more plates, extend this wall, connect it all back together, job done. So I'm glad I've done that. And it just about fits on the raised platform now, so it's almost the width of that. Now with this roof section just here, obviously I need to extend it over there by the extra, I think it's 8 studs that I've increased it in size. But I'm wondering about going another brick higher or another slope higher along this section. Now if I do so, what I would need to do on the back is actually put a doorway just so I can free up a few of the slopes, as I don't have enough of them to do both sides. But there is pipe work in here, so I'm just thinking maybe they would need to get access to some part of the machinery. So I think I may very well do that, and that would probably look good as well. And here we have the improved roof section. I did go up by an extra brick on here. I managed to find another, I think it's about 15 or so of these yesterday while sorting through some Lego bricks. And I then just borrowed the others off of Arkham Asylum, because it's part of Arkham, which is very easy to replace them. It's not doing any damage at all to the structure or anything. So at least we can carry on with this build up here. So what I'm going to do now is just build a bit more of the structure up on here, and then we'll start putting the 3 chimneys that'll be going on top. And there we have the chimneys all in place, and they need to be a little bit higher than we have at the moment. But what I'd ideally like to do is have some more of the dark bluish grey ones. Now, I only ordered 9 initially, so I'm going to place an order for some more of those next time I place an order with Lego.com. Unfortunately, I've just placed an order with them a couple of days ago, so it's going to have to wait a couple of weeks before we do that. Now, there are some other parts I'm going to need to order in, such as the pipework that's coming out of here. I have got the pieces in the incorrect colour, so I am going to pop them in there in a moment just to make sure that it looks how I want it to. So that's what I'm going to be concentrating on now, just getting this section here looking how I want it to. Once I've done that, I'm then going to start putting the plating on this section just here, all ready for the next build up. And there we have the pipe in place, and I'm just wondering whether to go for a totally different colour on the whole section just there. It would be nice to do something that's not the dark bluish grey, as we've got so much of that already in the build. It'd be good if the pipe was a different colour, whether it be a brown or something like that. I'm not sure. I think I've actually got these in reddish brown, and I might even have some of the cylinders. So I'm just going to have a think about it, and we'll make a decision further down the line. But at least we know that it all works. I'm happy with the look of it. I do want to have some pipes coming along here as well, which will go back towards that section as well. So there's loads of pipes that I need, or loads of circular bricks, should I say, that I need to order in to get all of the pipe work done on the structure there. And on the top here, we've also managed to get the plates all in place as well. So that's now all ready for the structure. I was just about to make a start on the structure that's going at the top here, just mapping it out. And I've just come across some reddish brown of these curved parts here. And I think it's from the bonsai tree, and I've got several of them. So I'm just going to change this over to a reddish brown with a bit of dark brown in there as well, and just see how that looks. And if it looks good, and I'm going to do a little bit more pipe work along the front here as well. So it'd be nice to have that sort of thing all in place, just so I know when I'm building this whether or not it looks right and is how I want it to look. So let's get those pipe bits all changed over and see how it comes out. And there we have the pipework all in place, and it's amazing how much difference just having that extra colour makes to the build here. With these dark bluish grey and the light bluish grey there, they're pieces which I need to order in. So these are the round 2x2 tiles with a hole in the centre. I put the dark bluish grey either side of this box bit here because I didn't have any in the reddish brown, so I'll order some of those in, and then I will swap all of it over so it is all reddish brown and dark brown on there. And the same with that one, I didn't have any other colour than the light bluish grey, so that's what we decided on there. Now this part here, I was going to have originally 3 pipes going up there. However, I'm not sure how that's going to work on there, where the other 2 pipes would be going to. So I think I'm just going to leave the 1 pipe there for the time being, and I'll probably put something else in these 2 Technic pins. I might even put some of the 1x cylinders coming out of it and having that sort of pipe work on there. But yeah, it's nice to have the pipe work on there. It's just transforms the build so much, just seeing that, as well as the chimneys up the top there. But now we've got that sorted out, let's start mapping out what else is going to be on the top of the structure here. And there we have the structure on the top of the build there. And I just need to get some black windows to replace the white curved ones that we have at the top there. It took me a while to work out how to do that section just there. It would have been nice to have had some macaroni pieces. However, they don't do them in tan, so I had to just come up with a different technique for getting the curve around the edge just there. On the side here, we've got the observation room, and I'll be putting a vent of some description at the top just here. Unfortunately, I have run out of dark tan masonry bricks, so I need to get some more of those in. So hopefully they'll be on the pick a brick wall next time I go up to Dublin. One other thing I'm just wondering about doing is extending the width of this room here. It's not very wide at the moment, so I just need to work out whether or not it'll be worth my while doing so, and also need to work out where I'm going to put the large chimneys, if I'm going to put any more on there. It would be nice to have one more big one coming up the back somewhere. However, it's just a case of how I go about building it. Anyway, let's take this over to the table and see how it looks on the raised platform. And here we have Ace Chemicals all in place, and not sure whether or not to bring it this way by a few studs. I was going to have it so there was a room for a vehicle to park down the side here. However, we've only got 7 studs, which isn't going to be wide enough for a vehicle. So I think it might just pay me to bring it this way and block the doorway in that's on the side there. Or just leave it there, but we just won't be using it. Now, on the other end, there is a doorway around there, so I do need to, if I do leave it there, I will need to put a pathway overhanging the water, but that'd be easy enough to do. But yeah, really happy with how the chemical plant is looking in this part of the city. It certainly has got a presence there, and I think once all the lights are completed on it, because there's a lot more lights I wish to put on there, it is going to look completely different. And also, we've still got a lot of height to get on this side of the build as well. But it would be quite nice to start working on the ground area here as well, just get that looking a lot more how we want it to look. So I might turn my attention over to that in the next update, so that you can't see all this multicolour filler brick and filler plate. Need to get the bridge coming across from Arkham. So all of these sorts of things, I just need to get a better idea of how it's going to look once it's all done. Anyway, that's all we have time for. Hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham City in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for walking on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.